a lot of you motherfuckers. You go back in your past and you know your mama was a rotten bitch. Okay? And you make up all these things about how good she was, how nice she was. She wasn't there because she was at school better than her life. She wasn't there because she didn't give a fuck. She wanted to be with everybody but you. Let's be honest. God damn. If you cannot keep it real with yourself, you can't keep it real with nobody else, because that's how I came through a lot of shit. By being honest about shit I didn't want to be honest about. And the fact my mama didn't love me. And she didn't want to be bothered. Ooh.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Pretty Realist Podcast. It's the Film C. That's me, Shannon Nicole. Now let's get into this video. Today, I wanted to talk about this video that I actually came across. And honestly, I've been coming across a lot of these videos lately. Being a new content creator, I always enjoy watching other content creators. Choice TV, he's actually one of my favorites. If you've never seen his channel, be sure to go check it out. Always touches on these really interesting topics, and a lot of them will trigger you. My channel, I try to just pretty much give my perspective on different situations that may affect us as human beings, as Americans, as Black women, certain things that we may deal with on a day-to-day basis, and you know how we could pretty much stir up the conversation in order for us to have a more balanced reality, because we all know it's extremely imbalanced, right? And we could see that by the way that people communicate with each other. We could see that with the breakdown of families. We could see that in our politics. We could see that all around us, even all the way to the entertainment, which plays a big role in the reason why humanity is so imbalanced. One thing I think is extremely important is to be a leader, even in the sense of a leader with integrity, with respect, with morals, but also a parent. Well, social media has really been displaying a lot of toxic parents.
Hi, I'm the mother of Liliana. Yeah, she goes to the East school, the high school, the East. If you're her friend, follow me, because I'm going to embarrass the shit out of her. She want to play games.
And a lot of these parents may not even realize the toxicity that they hold.
No physical discipline. Mom, don't mom me. No. You had your warning. You had your chance. I told you to listen. I told you stop disobeying my rules. I told you being cute ain't shit.
And I try really hard to be the best mother that I can be. Do you feel traumatized?
No.
Do you feel like I abused you?
No.
Do you feel like this form of discipline was a lot better than any other form of discipline, like physical abuse, that I could have used?
Yeah.
And that the ways that they bully their children for likes, comments, views, they don't really realize the deconstruction of their children's brains, their children's life, their children's way of possibly growing into being as an adult and maintaining their stability throughout life.
Post shit, right? Your daddy wanna post shit, right? He wanna fucking post shit and I answer the goddamn phone. I hate your ass.
Tia Posley was arrested in 2020, but now is back up living her best life.
Let me be first to say that I can't tell a person how to raise their children. I don't have kids myself, but being someone who was once a child, lived in the household with a toxic parent, I could sympathize with the way that these children may have felt at the moment. And I could also see that unless there is a discussion about it, that they're going to be going down the wrong path.
I to fuck with my whip shots last night and fuck my shit up. So now we let her open her gifts and let's see what Santa brought her. Santa ain't bring you shit. Aww, cause you been bad.
Since people saying I'm a bad parent, let's see. Oh my God, Bella,
Santa came last night. Let's see what he got. Come on. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We gotta see, mommy. Come on, mommy. Let's see. Oh my God. You got a lot of presents.
And what we don't need is a bunch of angry, drug-induced, over-sexualized generations leading us into the future. I don't care. This shit was done for laughs, giggles, and ha-has, and quite frankly, this video is honestly disgusting. Like, bro, come on now. You seen her slapping a baby on the ass like you at a strip club. Now we all know babies love to do that little up and down bop that they do. But to sit up here and really slap her ass like she a grown-ass woman, like, come on now. Because let's keep it honest. A lot of the mistakes that our parents made fell on us. If you're a millennial, you will definitely feel as if a lot of the tools that you needed in order to maintain and survive in today's economy, you may not have been given because our parents didn't really have it. You know, a lot of our parents were the product of toxicity themselves. And of course, they're not going to admit that they didn't really know what they were doing when they had us, and they were doing the best that they can. And we, for one, definitely didn't really see it that way. But I think a lot of us as adults, we could understand that, yeah, you know, our parents, they was just doing the best that they can. But we had to really go through a lot of shit in order for us to get to that point. We really had to bump our heads a lot of times in order for us to get to that point. We had to learn a lot of things that we felt our parents should have really kind of put us up on game about in order for us to get to that point where we could look at ourselves and be like, okay, you know what? I forgive my parents and I'm going to try to do my best in order to live a stable life. Now, it's up to us, the parents who went through that situation, to be better examples, what it means to be loved, what it means to be respected, what it means to have morals. And we have to do it in a way to where not even if you're just a mom, if you're the dad, also if you're the auntie, if you're the cousin, if you're the friend, if you're the neighbor, we still have to put ourselves in a position to have morals and standards.
And who was the boy that you was messaging talking about he sucked your titties? Who was that boy, Saya?
Terrell.
The same one. How many others is it, Saya?
She just came over there.
And what about the one named Justin? What school he go to?
That's the one who did it. That's the one.
No, who you send it to?
He live in
that was
DC.
Justin, right?
Yes.
That was Justin, right?
Yes.
That was Justin, right? You said he go to your school, right?
No, Justin.
Didn't he just say he go to her school?
No, that's Jacob. That has
Oh, so that's Jacob. It's so many of them, Saya. I don't even know what to say. Which one is it this time? You such a damn whore. Which?
But with a lot of these parents that I'm going to show you today, they didn't display that. They put themselves out there for people like you and me to either laugh at, to comment, to stand with, and to give them the attention that they need. Because, see, the devil is going to continue to move as long as we continue to give him a reason to. So when we give these type of people our attention, they go with it. But they do it in the expense of their own children. I am going to try really hard to not make this video too long. I say this all the time, and my videos always end up being up to 30 minutes because I love to talk to y'all. I do. And you know, I'm just a content creator. I'm just a regular schmegular person out here trying to figure out why people do the shit that they do. I might not understand the shit, but I give my opinion on it, and I like to start conversations so that way we can all continue to grow and be better people, because we are surrounded by a lot of toxic shit. So when we start seeing parents do toxic shit to their kids, it's only right that we speak up on it. And the reason why it's important that we do is because I need you to see how this lady speaks to her child. I need you to see how she represents the toxicity that I'm speaking of when it comes to leadership, when it comes to parenting.
I think you should not like your baby daddy. And you don't.
I don't like none of y'all. I don't like you, his mammy, his sister, none of y'all. His kids, I don't like y'all.
You gonna get mad at me because you fucked the son of a crackhead. You fucked the son of a crackhead. Who the fuck get pregnant from a son of a crackhead and you mad at me? You mad at me because you fucked the crackhead son.
How many kids you got?
Who?
How many kids you got?
How many kids I got?
How many kids you got?
According to the state, bitch, none.
How many kids?
Not even you. My womb has reset itself. It has reset itself. So, bitch, my womb,
Okay, you
bitch,
have
is
4
at
kids.
zero,
So that
ho.
means 4
It's 2021. I ain't got no motherfucking kids. Stop playing with me, ho.
Logical. You have 4 kids, so that means 3 different niggas nutted in a crackhead's daughter. Okay? So.
She ain't had nothing to say. She ain't had nothing to say with that. But this is a mother and a daughter. A mother and a daughter, y'all. That's the mother that's talking with these big ass lashes on in this video. Let's continue.
Technically, your daddy ain't nothing shit. If you knew how small your daddy dick was, if you knew how small your motherfucking daddy dick was, bitch, he ain't nut. That bitch nutted on my lip and it swam to the top, bitch. Why the fuck you think I ain't know he was your daddy? Huh? Your daddy ain't got no goddamn.
She thought she ate.
Your daddy ain't got no motherfucking dick. Talking about your daddy fuck son. Your daddy ain't fuck shit. Yo, bitch, I fucked your daddy. Bitch, and quite frankly, I fucked him for $100 again inside club at sex that night. Bitch, so I can go pussy pop in the VIP section where big dick ballers was at. Because your small dick daddy, he wasn't no motherfucking baller.
This is a sickness. You can't tell me that's not behavior that could have possibly been learned. Because whoever her mother is definitely instilled that type of behavior in her. That ain't some shit that you just roll over one morning and you're going to decide to just be a nasty, conniving person. It doesn't matter that this girl her daughter may be grown. At the end of the day, this is still a human being that you carried and you actually grew into being who they are today. That's some sick shit. And you put this on your live for people to see. What did you expect to happen? Did you think that this was going to be a one-up on you? Were you planning on teaching something? Were you trying to gain something? That's a toxic mother trait. Why am I the discussion of your topic when it comes to your life? Why are you talking about my wrongs or my children or my mistakes when you yourself have made the same mistakes and then you speak on them as if it was a prize or some shit, like sickness? And she really thought she ate with that one, honey, $100 in the backseat of the car. She really thought she ate with that one. These young people that y'all are dogging, that y'all are talking down on, these are the people that you're going to need when you get older. Because see, when I say you're going to need them when you get older, when you do right by your children and you raise them up to be good people, you raise them up with like I said, morals, with good conduct, with code of ethics, respect, they're going to grow up and they're going to continue to love you all the way up until you can no longer wipe your own ass. And I mean that real talk. Your children are the ones you're going to need when you're old and you can't even stand to be in a home by yourself anymore because you have Alzheimer's or you can't walk or you can't feed yourself. You're going to need your children. These videos have been coming out for quite some time. It just seems like to have been some type of trend for mothers to embarrass their daughters on social media for likes, comments, and views. Like, I literally just don't get it.
Enough is enough. Save the kids.
I don't care.
I'm gonna call you or call Miss Harvey, let them know I got the appointment done. Yes. Okay.
You ain't doing shit. That what you get. Box head, bitch. Charlie. Aha.
You know, I'm a millennial child. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't really have access to cell phones and video cameras, you know, back in the day for us to, you know, record what our parents did and said to us. We did something wrong. We knew that we were going to get punished for it. And we did our damnedest to not do it again. Ain't none of us perfect. People did have parents that used to whoop them in front of the neighborhood or whoop them in front of the classroom. So I guess now parents literally whooping their children in front of the camera is equivalent to parents whooping their children in front of the classroom, I'm guessing. But whipping your kids in front of the classroom, there's maybe like 15 to 20 people in the classroom, but maybe less than that, because if it's a small classroom, it's going to be like 10 people in there compared to you embarrassing your children in front of thousands upon millions of people. Compared to you embarrassing your children in front of the world. You never know what your child might be when they get older. You know what they're going to strive for. This little girl might end up being a president one day. Oh shit, she might be the next big thing as far as talk, whatever the hell she want to be in life. Whatever the hell he want to be in life. You got this on the internet, and the internet never forgets.
Are you supposed to be on Snapchat? No. So why the fuck are you on Snapchat? I don't know. You don't know. Right? How the fuck old are you? 12. So why the fuck are you talking about being a freak and you don't even fucking wash your drawers? You don't even know how to wash your clothes. You don't know how to wipe your fucking ass. But you're talking about being a freak? You can't even brush your hair. Right? No, you can't. No, you can't.
So I just be trying to understand it. But anyway, I've got to give y'all another example of the level of toxicity that has taken over the minds of our mothers out here. And this one, I'm going to tell y'all a little something, okay? This one right here pissed me off so bad. Something that I'm noticing about these mothers is a lot of them have this do as I say and not as I do type of attitude. So like they're expecting their kids to not curse, to talk with respect and dignity. But if you hear the way that they talk to their children, the private information that is clearly embarrassing, then you'll understand why it appears to be some type of sickness going on.
Those of you that knows Keandria and that knows Taviana, aka Faith and Kimberly, I am their mother. Now, I done gave them plenty of chances to A, correct their language, B, present themselves like young women, and C, when I'm gone, to take care of my 5 and 6-year-old. So, I leave yesterday to celebrate Father's Day with my husband, and something say, you know, I'm going to leave them the phone, give them a little leadway, let them keep my cell phone, you know, just if they do right, I'll let them off for punishment, because the hoe's been fucking up.
You done just canceled out everything you said in your intro. Just canceled it all out.
Barely clean they ass, let alone keeping my house clean. They like to chase these little good for nothing ass niggas that ain't worth shit, for one. They don't carry themselves properly, those of y'all that really know them. Now, I done gave them a chance. There's no more chances. So now it's time to air their asses out. They like to sit up here and twerk, disrespectful to my 5 and 6-year-olds while they going live and they supposed to be babysitting. But they shaking they good for nothing nasty fucking asses. Okay? The language. They know I don't condone that shit, but they wait until I leave because neither one of them hoes is stiff enough to use that language in my face. Because they know I knock they fucking teeth out they goddamn mouth. So, that's 2. 3, the sticking the tongue out, the sticking the fingers, all that shit changing while you going live. You're standing in front of a window wide open, changing your clothes, and gonna say, oh, yeah, I'm changing in front of the window, and bitch, you trifling. You're trifling as fuck. You have little sisters who looks up to you, and your trifling ass is changing in front of a mirror. Those that just joined, I'm Faith and Kimberly's mom. That's not even their real name, so I suggest that shit fly out the window. Their real names is Keandria Tanae Washington, Taviana Unique Washington,
It ain't no fucking Faith, and it damn sure ain't no fuck Kimberly. It ain't none of that. These hoes, yes, they're my daughters. I done gave them chances, but now I'm finna treat them like hoes. These hoes are trifling.
So she walked her ass up them stairs, y'all, to embarrass them. She gave them she gave out their government names. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a mother, but I can't understand why this isn't something that you could have sat down with the child and talked about, or you couldn't have disciplined them without pressing record on your phone. Like, what was the whole point of putting their business out there, or putting your business out there? Because really, truth be told, you're the one that really looks like the trifling one. It's not the kids, because the behavior was learned somewhere. It's unbelievable. But men, these are the type of women that y'all be having kids with. And then once you get women like this, you feel like all black women are like this, just because you had a bad experience with somebody that you didn't vet before you decided to have a child with them. Just saying.
As a father, you don't take care of your kids. You know, if you took away government assistance, there'd be a hell of a lot more deadbeat mothers than deadbeat fathers. And this isn't a defense of deadbeat dads. If you're gonna do the work to have kids, fucking take care of them. But let's stop living in this fantasy world where we pretend that these mothers are able to take care of these kids because they're strong, independent women. If you took away government assistance, you'd see the court system shift real quick to making sure fathers have custody of their kids. Because all these fucking assistance programs that the government created, you know, the ones that give the mothers money, give the mothers food, provide housing for them, you know, the vast majority of those programs are dependent on there not being a man in the house. And if she were to have a man in the house, she doesn't qualify for most of those programs. So the government actually financially incentivizes mothers to get rid of the fathers. But you take away all those programs and make the court actually decide who is more fit and capable to take care of those children? Shit. Most of these women would only see their kids on their birthdays.
Shit. This one hit me a little hard because the father was just as hurt as the child was. I'm a firm believer, as someone who did not grow up with their dad, that a relationship between a father and a daughter is something that's so sacred and is so beautiful and so necessary. I'm a true believer that having both parents and having a father and a mother is complete when it comes to having a well-rounded child. Now, a lot of us did grow up with single mothers, but we watched them struggle. Like, we watched how hard it was for them to be able to maintain that household. They did their best, and some of us did turn out all right. But the people who did grow up with their fathers, who had fathers who cared about them, who loved them, who nurtured them, who, especially when it comes to women, fathers who made them understand what a real man was so they know to not look for something that was fraudulent. If a lot of us had that, would we be in the position that we are right now? If we had that, man, I guarantee you, we probably wouldn't have dealt with all the fuck shit that we dealt with. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. Mothers who push the fathers away just because the father is not with you, and you try to use the child as a pawn, you don't even really realize how much you're hurting the child by trying to hurt him. Because that baby ain't got nothing to do with what's going on between y'all. He's a good man. He's a good father. He shows up, or tries to show up, in her life. He's making the best effort that he can. Shutting him out just because things aren't working with you all, it's not right, and it's not healthy for the child. And you may feel as if the child is on your side right now, but I guarantee you, and I promise you, one day that child's going to find out, and it's not going to end well for you. It will look at you some type of way if you're that type of person. Let's get into this video though.
See those songs up there, they can see her. Your hair pretty. Man. My baby sitting up out there being crying.
I don't care. I told you, stop playing with
That
me.
motherfucker cut my baby hair out of here.
So did.
Look at that shit. That shit sad. Hurt
Now
my
wait.
baby feeling.
Now wait.
Cause you don't hurt the dad, you hurt her
I
feelings.
do
You
my
hurt my
own
baby
girl
feelings.
hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
I do my own girl hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
What was you trying to prove?
My baby
You see
sitting
what
about
I'm
that
saying?
bitch.
By you being salty because you didn't do the baby's hair, you gonna cut her hair off in front of the dad? In front of another child?
Let us find out you the one fucked that baby head up and blaming it on somebody else. Boy, you saw a picture. I ain't gonna lie, it was cute. I ain't say it was ugly. It was braided real cute. It just was tight as hell, and I ain't do it. Number one reason, I'm real petty daddy. I didn't do it, and I ain't tell him to let nobody do it. So the second number one reason is that was showing them made me cut it out. I love to see that it was too tight. It was too tight. It was too tight. My baby hair had her skin, meat was puffing up between the braids and everything. It was pretty, but it was too tight. And I don't even braid her hair that tight. Who was fighting at work? I told you, stop playing
That
with me.
motherfucker cut my.
Like, did you think that that was gonna make the father mad, or did you even care about how it made the child feel? You was tight about the fact that, man, you probably still won't, went and did something for his child, and she came back, and she looked good, and she looked happy, and you just had to spoil it because you're a narcissist. Then you turned it around. You pretty much gaslit the whole situation. How could you not have looked at your baby's face and felt some type of way? It's not even my child, and I just felt I was holding back tears when I saw this video. How could you do that to that little girl? That little girl ain't got nothing to do with how you feel about that man. If that man loved that little girl enough to spend time with her and put a smile on her face, that should put a smile on your face. Stop being so self-absorbed when it comes to your children, because they ain't asked to be here. That's one of the reasons why it's important that you deal with people that's healed. A lot of people out here who know for sure that they come from abusive homes, who know for sure that they've been in abusive relationships, that they are not 100% where they want to be when it comes to having relationships, when it comes to dealing with people, because they are still tortured by the past that they had. Instead of a lot of people going to get the help and going to actually see somebody and talk to somebody, or doing the work that they need to do in order for them to get through whatever it was that they went through, they continue to invite other people in, which is completely unfair. It's not fair for you to invite somebody into your shit when you ain't cleaned it out yet. Because what happens is you're carrying on this baggage, right? All these skeletons that you still have in your closet, you carrying on with these bags, right? And this person comes in and they probably got their own bag of bones from the skeletons that they have in their closet. So then they come in. So not only do you expect, because let's keep it real, modern women expect for these men to carry everything, right? You expect for these men to carry everything, including your own skeletons in the closet that you failed to get rid of. Your own. So now he got to carry your shit and his too. It's the same thing with women. Men, you got to clean out your closets before you invite somebody else into your shit. It's not fair that a woman got to carry her shit and yours. Now, if she chooses to deal with you when she's already aware of your situation, then that's on her. Like, be upfront about what you got going on. Let this woman know, hey, this is how my baby mama is. This is how my ex is. This is what I'm going through. That lady has a choice in whether or not she want to deal with you, or whether or not she want to just be like, you know what, maybe I don't need to deal with this. But don't be that type of dude like the random man in Atlanta. And y'all probably know what story I'm talking about. That's just spreading seeds all over the city and all over the country with all these different women. And they don't even know who each other is. And he just leaving these women to raise these kids. Because when you do that, man, when you just drop your load off in every woman who got a fat ass and a pretty face, or who you think that you could just spend the night with or cuddle up with every now and then, what you're going to do is you're going to have women like this raising your children. Know that this is happening a lot lately. It's happening with mostly black and brown women. I'm not saying that there's not toxic white mothers also.
And don't get pissed when people stare, because you are asking for it.
You want to go be a fucking adult?
Oh, I'm asking for it?
You are! You are asking for it. I told you, as clear as day, the conversation that we had earlier, as clear as day. I'm going to calm down.
Come on now. We know that that's out there, but Obviously, there is some type of effect that social media has on our children right now, and you embarrassing them in front of the entire world. How do you think that plays a part in their mental health? Did you think about that? Do you know that there are children who are literally out here unaliving their parents because of the abuse that they suffered at the hands of them? Menendez brothers. Suicide rate amongst black teens has risen more than any other race of people in this country. It's the highest it's ever been. I'm talking about rates among the ages of 10 through 24 rose 36%. Why do you think that is? Social media and bullying. Racial discrimination is literally like last. So they're more worried about what people see on social media and how they see themselves. How could you not think that you embarrassing them on social media is going to help? It's just going to increase this percentage that I just told you about. Because now they got to deal with going to school and being bullied because of what they just saw their mother do to them on social media, just to make them feel as if they did some type of discipline. Some very sick and twisted individuals out here. You got to remember, a lot of the crack babies from the early 90s are adults now. Got a lot of crack baby parents out here. Definitely got to have something wrong up here to think that that was some form of discipline. As someone who also dealt with a narcissistic parent, I love my mom to pieces. We're in a better place than we are right now. We weren't always there. It took us a while. It took us a while to get to this point where I respect my mom and realize that she was doing the best that she could with where she was at. But at that time, I had to figure it out on my own. I had to figure out what sex was about. I had to figure out how to build friendships and how to build relationships. I'm at this age where I'm actually in a solid, positive, healthy relationship, and it took for me to kiss a whole lot of bumpy ass, ugly, evil frogs to get to the king that I have right now. And I'm grateful for that. But damn, I really just wish that my mom was more involved in my decision making, or my dad was more involved in my decision making from an adolescent on up to this age now. Then again, just like me, they were still trying to figure it out. The only difference now and then is that growing up, we had things that kept us busy because we had other avenues that kept us distracted from the bullshit that we were dealing with when it comes to living with our toxic parent. Whether it was playing basketball, whether it was being an artist, whether it was just having a nice group of friends who brought you up, grandma who used to make you cookies and rub on your back. Like me, it was music. Music is what was my escape, is what took me away from how much I couldn't stand living in this house with my mom. And it's what was healing to me. And I went through so many different things in order for me to get to this point. I had to heal myself. I couldn't depend on my mama to do it. But how many other people are like that? Many other people out here are still blaming their parents for shit that they put them through and how it affected them as adults right now. It's people that's still in their 50s and 60s that's probably still mad at their parents. So I say all of that to say this. Disciplining your children on social media is not a positive, healthy way of raising mature, respectable adults. It's not. Because what's going to happen is that embarrassment could not only cost them their lives, because they may decide to unalive themselves, or depending on the level of embarrassment, they may decide to unalive you, may decide to unalive someone else. They may just decide to just give up on life and just be someone out here who's wandering aimlessly without any goals, without any care, without any respect, without any morals in this world, because it was something that they were never taught. Be very careful about who you decide to have children with. One night of passion could cause you a lifetime of pain. You might be with someone for a very long time and y'all might have children and it may still not work out. At the end of the day, Majority of these situations are with women who are single. They're single parents. No father in the house to say, oh, no, hell no, don't put my, turn that camera off. Let's sit down and talk this. Let's sit down and talk about this. Let's discuss this. There are no fathers in the house for these children. If we're already past that, you've already did what you needed to do as far as raise your children. And the least you could do is explain to them why you did what you did, why you were raised, or even give them a background of who you were as a child. So that way they'll have a better understanding of how you may have disciplined them in certain ways. Hate is actually a learned mechanism. It's something that is learned, something that is taught. Narcissism, toxicity is something that was learned. It's a trait that was taught. So obviously someone had to come face to face with a similar evil in order for them to feel comfortable with putting that same evil on another person, especially someone as young and innocent as a child. Because at the end of the day, until they're 18, they are your responsibility. And sometimes it may even be longer than that, depending on how they may be able to maintain their own lifestyle in their own home. That's your responsibility, to protect them, to instill values, to instill love in them, to push them to be the very best versions of themselves as they can be. Because let me tell you something, this world is lacking individuals like that. And that's all I got to say. I know I came a little heavy on this one. Last one was a little bit more political, but I really wanted to touch on this because not only I feel like it may help another individual, also shed a light on the toxicity that a lot of our youth is facing right now and why they may just really be angry out here in the world.
This right here is what it looked like on the streets of Chicago Saturday night.
In the ghetto, on the cold and gray Chicago moon, another little baby child is born in the ghetto, in the ghetto.
And it could possibly make us be better adults to them, whether we're a grandmother, whether we're a mom, whether we're a dad. Like, we gotta know that the things that we give to our kids is going to affect them in the long run, and that's whether good or bad. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Only receive the message. If it's for you, receive it. If not, leave it. Now go ahead. I'm going to get up out of here. Listen, thank y'all so much for supporting my channel. Y'all so much for supporting my last episode. Like, I don't even think y'all understand how dope that felt to see that people was actually listening to my content. You know, I put a lot of time into it. I do all the editing. I've invested all of my money into this setup, and I only want to continue to grow. Listen, I for one want to let you all know that I am not perfect by far. I don't come on here as if I know everything. I'm merely a being out here having a human experience, and I'm learning as I go. I'm learning that the world is changing around me, and I move accordingly to it. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and act like some shit is cool when I know it's not. And I'm also knowing that there are people out there who think how I think and who feel how I feel and who may not have the voice to speak it. So I'm here for y'all. This is what I do. This is what I plan to do until God calls me home. I want to speak for the people who can't speak for themselves. And I also want to create some type of conversation so we could, you know, move towards some type of change in our current reality, because it definitely is needed. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.